Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of iTrek. Huge shout out to all the iTrek fan man that has just tapped in. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at why all the tech CEOs have finally gotten to that point where they're extremely nervous. AI seems to be thriving without any kind of human intervention, and it has everybody trying to figure out what's next. So we'll be taking a look at that along with a lot of other interesting and creepy clips. But before we get into any of that, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe if you're not already part of the iTrek fam. And make sure to watch until the end because there's a lot of gems all throughout this episode. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Well, a stunning warning from AI company Anthropic. The company warns the technology is moving so quickly that we actually need to pause its development before AI can just build itself and before humans lose complete control over it.
What it would look like is these AI systems making new versions of themselves without any human input. And then at that point, if they are running on their own, on a computer system or on someone's phone, they could maybe do some, mechanisms that we are not ready for them to do yet. And the idea now is that humans are in charge of how these AI systems improve themselves. Humans get to decide what they want to do to make these algorithms and these models more sophisticated. So what Anthropic has described here is a process in which the AI gets better and better to the point where it improves itself. And they think that that is a little scary and something that the whole world should know about, because if we know about it now, maybe as a society, we can decide to slow AI research down.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing, they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger, I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them. Silent breed is people!
So this is at the end of the film, right? And everyone knows the famous line at the end of the film where he screams, "It's made of people." But that's not even the most shocking part. The absolute error was ignoring the timeline. The movie is literally set in the year 2022. Think about that. Total inflation, dying oceans, a society forced to eat synthetic. It's all run by one massive global corporation. Some say they didn't write a script, they wrote a checklist. How are more people not even talking about this? They hide the truth in plain sight and call it science fiction. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Another case of predictive programming striking again. It seems like all the movies made in the 90s seem to be pretty spot on to what's going on right now.
The famous...
Alright. Nobody's quite told me why this one is here. Like you can see them all back there. But this guy somehow, he didn't make it. Didn't make it to the chosen spot. I mean, the size of this thing is massive. It's not a tiny little rock. That stuff of volcanic things. That is crazy. His forehead and his nose. Wow. Wow.
Guys, this is gonna sound insane, but there is currently a fungus that is spreading from cats to humans that literally eats your skin, and a cat can give it to you just by scratching you. This fungus actually showed up in Brazil back in the 90s, and it lives in a cat's claws, in their saliva, and in any open wounds that they may get. They're saying that you don't even need a scratch from the cat to get it, because they're saying that a sick cat can also sneeze the fungus straight onto you as well. So obviously that's great. Once it gets into your body, it starts as a small bump and then it opens into sores that can travel up your arm or across your face, and in rare cases, it can get into your lungs, your joints, and even the brain. And by the way, they're saying that this version has been more aggressive than the normal one. So that's cool. The only way to get rid of the infection if you get it is to be put on antifungal pills for up to 9 months at a time, and doctors are currently saying that that treatment is starting to fail. This fungus has already spread to Argentina, Paraguay, Paraguay, Chile, and Uruguay, and it just turned up into the UK, and the CDC is saying right now that it's only a matter of time before it's in the US too. 2026. Leave us alone.
It's quite scary when you realize the reason why certain songs get stuck in your head. This is because music is a form of magic. The word music literally says me, you, sick. It makes you sick. Mentally, physically, emotionally. The reason you can't get certain songs out your head is because of this terrifying reason. It's because your subconscious responds to patterns. The repetitive beats, the repetitive words and choruses help create a pattern that the subconscious responds to. It invokes an emotion with the beat, and the stronger the emotion you feel, the more it deeply impresses your subconscious mind, making you remember the lyrics. Don't you think it's strange how you can't remember what you did yesterday fully, but you can remember a song you listened to years ago? That's because it deeply impresses your subconscious mind and literally becomes an aspect of you. If you're listening to drugs, sex, alcohol, and partying music, them words are going to be impressed into your subconsciousness and become a part of you. You're going to unknowingly start to think, act, and feel to do party, drugs, sex, and all the things that the music is talking about. Music is a powerful spiritual tool, and it can be used to destroy your mind or uplift your mind into higher states of awareness. Now you know the reason why these rappers are paid millions, because in the eyes of the elites, they're using these people as not as artists, but as dark magicians to plant messages into the collective consciousness. Keep them stuck worshipping money, the material world, and stuck in a low base consciousness and a low frequency. Word of the day is use music as a spiritual tool to uplift you and not trap your mind in base material consciousness.
Hey, no lies detected. A lot of people really dismiss how music can change their mood or even their mentality, but he was spot on.
Facts about Earth that do not feel real. We all know Antarctica to be this cold, barren wasteland, but it's actually considered a desert, the largest desert on Earth. Most people don't know that deserts are technically classified by their lack of precipitation, not for their temperature. And in some places in Antarctica, it has not rained for over 2 million years. The driest place in Antarctica is McMurdo Drive Valleys, and scientists estimate that it hasn't had rainfall or snowfall from between 2 million to 6 million years. And this is largely in part due to the dry, fierce winds that come from the polar plateau and wipe out any moisture before it can accumulate. What's particularly interesting about McMurdo Dry Valleys is that its planetary conditions, although on Earth, mimics Mars's planetary conditions so well that NASA has a station nearby where they test prototypes, they test rovers, and they use this place as an analog to search for life on Mars.
First, it looks like a mountain. Then you realize it's a giant. This is the Apennine Colossus in Italy. Built in the 1500s, this enormous stone figure rises over the landscape like part of the earth itself. But the statue wasn't only decoration. Inside were hidden chambers and water systems that made parts of it come alive. Art, architecture, engineering. A mountain turned into a guardian.
When do you think this patent was filed for a silent flying machine? 1959, but I'm sure it went nowhere, except this video showing that it actually worked. It has no wings, no propellers, it literally floats on air using ions. This is the Ionocraft. No moving parts, no fuel, just electricity. And I'm sure no one cared about having a silent aircraft.
I mean, what would you do with it?
Although MIT did actually build one that flies. Does it look familiar? I mean, have we seen this before? Is our mind playing tricks?
You can find videos online of how to make your own Ionocraft. You can even make the ionic wind blow out a birthday candle, or spin things, which I'm sure has no practical use.
Filed in 1959 by Alexander de Seversky, an aerospace pioneer with military and government ties. Just a coincidence. Beam following, auto-targeting, servo control, 1959. Totally abandoned though, definitely not being used, not flying over New Jersey. So there you go, the Ionocraft, a real tested invention by a legendary engineer that I'm sure they did nothing with in 66 years. What do you think they did with the tech? Let me know and I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
I mean, obviously they just re-engineered an actual UAP, because why else would you even have one of those?
It looks like a tanning bed, but this is called the Elysium. This is photobiomodulation, pulse electromagnetic field therapy, and we can have over 550 different protocols depending upon what the patient's needs are, and we can customize it to the patient. So it's green, 2 red, 3 infrared lights that blink at different frequencies and affect your health. So we can affect your skin, your brain, your pain, lungs, kidney, bladder, fertility, liver, teeth, mood, circulation. This thing is out of this world. It has become one of the favorite therapies that our patients do in the office is the ARC bed. New system, a lot more expensive than the other system was, but we have one. We're going to get another unit too, so we'll have 2 units because they're so busy.
All right, y'all. Allegedly behind me is Gilgamesh's ring, one of his rings. It's absolutely massive. Just imagine the being that could wear that and it actually fits. They had to have been anywhere from 20 to 30 feet tall. I think it's sterling silver, but you could see the craftsmanship. It's a work of art. I couldn't imagine actually finding that and instantly being absolutely enamored at the being that had to have been wearing it. The Epic of Gilgamesh. They allegedly found him in Iraq. There's a lot more to that story, but yeah, they found a lot in Iraq during the Iraq War. That ring is absolutely huge, just a years old.
What you're looking at is one of the most elusive and visually spectacular atmospheric phenomenon on Earth, a red sprite, caught above a thunderstorm in Tibet the other day. They come in a few different colors, but for a long time they were considered a myth told by pilots. But they're very real. They're ultra-fast electrical discharges that happen way up on the edge of space. While standard lightning strikes down towards the Earth from the bottom of a storm cloud, sprites do the exact opposite. They flash upwards from the top of a storm system up into the mesosphere, around 90 kilometers above the ground. They're so much larger and more spectacular than lightning happening below the clouds. And from the ground, because of the clouds, you would never know this is happening above you.
Now in preclinical stage with multiple projects, including potential treatments for immune disorders and cancer. Our mission is to reimagine the drug discovery process with the goal of one day solving all disease.
Now just wait a minute. Could you imagine a world where there was no disease? And if you were born with an ailment, they have the ability to cure it? It sounds like they're inching closer to a place something like heaven on earth.
All of these sports leagues are scripted. Here's further proof. You had this dude with the last name Freeman score a goal for USA on Juneteenth. I mean, come on. You could not make this up even if you tried. These script writers are scripting every single time, no matter the league, no matter the sport. All of these sports leagues, NBA, MLB, NFL, soccer, hockey, I mean, the list goes on. You name it, pro or college, all of these sports leagues are as fake as the WWE, including, as I stated, soccer, FIFA, the FIFA World Cup. All of this stuff is scripted. And the fact that you had a dude with the last name Freeman score a goal on Juneteenth should show and tell you all that you need to know.
Well, what about all of the alien abductions?
They're not abductions, they're the results of a tremendously successful and very sophisticated mind control operation. Project Artichoke, Project MK Ultra, but they have perfected them. On my website I have a patent of a machine that can read your brainwaves, can recombine them in a computer and send them back to you and make you think things happened that never happened.
This world is getting way too strange. A man on TikTok recorded what looked like a completely normal pigeon sitting on top of a massive storage tank. At first, nothing seemed off. The bird wasn't injured, it wasn't weak, it wasn't acting sick. It just stood there, staring forward, like it was watching something. Then he zoomed in, and that's when everything changed. On the pigeon's back, there were thin wires, multiple lights, clearly attached. At first, people thought it was parasites. or some kind of injury. But that explanation didn't hold up. The pigeon looked healthy, too healthy. No struggle, no pain, just standing there calmly. Then people went to the comments, and that's where the theory showed up. Those aren't parasites. That's tracking equipment. This is government surveillance. Some even joked, FBI watching the streets one pigeon at a time. Joke or not, this isn't the first time birds have been used for monitoring, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So the question is, was this just a modified bird? Or was someone watching through it?
I'm in here trying to prepare because I'm about to, barbecue a little something. So I got this from a meat house in Chicago I think it's called Blue Ribbon on Lake. And, no, I think it's Austin and Lake. So, but anyway, look at this fake ass beef short rib. Like, why is the meat flaking like that? Like, I ain't never in my life seen meat in fucking layers. Like, this is layered meat. Like, what the, like, they really try to kill us, y'all. Like, this shit is real. This is lab-grown beef. This is lab-grown. Like, oh my word, look at that. Can't nobody tell me that this is real. Why the fuck is it layered like that? What? No. Trash it go.
Listen, I get in the kitchen and I do my thing. I chef it up a little bit, but that meat did have a bone on the end of it. So are they just getting really creative with this 3D printed meat, or was she just over exaggerating? Tap in if you're a real chef and you know if that was real or fake.
All I'm saying, they're gonna get a. I'm just. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Aliens crashed right there, and that's their ship. That's why the road was closed.
Unspoken rule you should know. If someone shows you a picture on their phone, do not swipe left or right.
The creepiest piece of lore I have is that the man who made the golden doodles regrets making them and wishes he hadn't. And these dogs are everywhere now. I feel like everyone has a golden doodle or just like a doodle. This man said that creating this entire breed of dog was his life's biggest regret. He made them because he knew a blind woman who was allergic to dogs but really desperately needed to have a guide dog, and golden doodles actually have hair. They don't have fur, so she wasn't allergic to the dog's fur. And then everybody wanted a doodle, and he started to be like, oh my gosh, wait, no, not everybody should have a doodle. We should not be mass producing this dog. Which is crazy because I love doodles. Unlike most dogs, they have very, very human-like eyes. Like, people always talk about how doodles are like a man in a fur suit. The man who gave us these dogs, it was his life's biggest regret. Which I still don't fully understand why. Like, I think they're such lovely dogs. But, like, apparently he wishes he never did it. And I think that's so creepy. If you like my content, hit the plus for more and follow my socials for long-form content.
Now, that is one breed of dog that definitely gives me the creeps.
Phil Schneider claimed he survived a firefight with aliens deep beneath Dulce, New Mexico. On the surface, Dulce is a small town near the Colorado border. But in UFO lore, it became something much darker. A secret underground base, a place of military projects, alien technology, and experiments hidden far below the desert. According to Schneider, he was a geologist and explosives expert working on underground construction in the late 1970s. Then, he claimed, his team broke into a massive underground cavern. Inside, he said they encountered non-human beings, and a firefight erupted. Schneider claimed dozens died. Years later, he began speaking publicly about secret bases, alien treaties, and government cover-ups. Supporters call him a whistleblower. Skeptics say the story has never been proven. But Dulce became one of the darkest legends in UFO history. Was this just an underground conspiracy? Or did the lonely alien escape from the base?
Fun fact of the day. Former US President Barack Obama is afraid of snowmen.
So I'm thinking this was the praying. Then I realized her knees was bent back and her hand was made funny. And I'm like, oh, hell no. This is a body. They started changing her clothes and shit like she was at a fucking picnic. Like
If you're ever lost, and I hope you're not, if you see a tree and you see this green stuff, that's moss. And you notice that on this side there is none, but on this side there is. Moss grows on north side. So center the moss and right down the middle, that way straight, that way, it's gonna be north. And then if you go to this side over here and you see how there's nothing on this side, see it's like bare, this is going to be south. So then that way would be south. This is the moss and you put it right in between, you see, and it's facing north. And then if you go to this side where there's no moss, and now it's pointing south. So fun fact, if you didn't know, the moss tells you which way is north or south. So moss north, no moss south. Look, you can see it only grows on that side and not on this side. So moss that way is north, no moss this way is south. So that way home. That is a super fun fact.
Secret societies. They often come up in conspiracies or in the plot of a movie. But thanks to some work of some hacktivists, we've got a first look into how one really operates. It's called Dialogue, and it's a private, invitation-only group co-founded in 2006 by billionaire Peter Thiel. Within the trove of information accessed were the names of hundreds of participants, including sitting Trump officials, Elon Musk, and the president of OpenAI. These influential figures gather at annual retreats, including sessions labelled Bring Back Nuclear, Navigating World War III, and Build a Party, run by a former White House national security official. The hacker, Maya Arsen-Krimu, had previously exposed the US government's no-fly list and breached surveillance company Verkada. Dialogue's digital footprint is hard to spot, although a report by Axios last year showed it's lining up a major expansion with plans to build a campus in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. as a permanent hub for off-the-record meetings. None of the individuals named in the leak have responded for comment, showing their commitment to the secret in secret society.
Hey, this just brings more proof that there isn't just one secret society. Everybody's focused on the Illuminati, but there's tons of them, and they all usually more or less have the same agenda.
I think more importantly, they need to understand what's called trans-dimensional physics. It's very arcane. It's the physics of very powerful high voltage electromagnetic fields and other technologies causing objects to teleport and move out of linear 3D space-time matter through other dimensions, but then reappear. So basically they pop out of this dimension, traverse other dimensions, and then pop back into 3D at another point in space. Now, this has been well understood, by the way, since at least the late 1950s in covert scientific research programs dealing with UFOs.
If people knew the truth about aliens, everything might collapse. No one would be able to sleep at night.
Early mermaids, or merfolks, appear in Mesopotamian lore as fish-tailed beings, but sirens evolved over time through Roman influence and medieval art into the fish-tailed, alluring hybrids we recognize today. Historical accounts portray them as sneaky, deadly temptress, tied to danger and the unknown sea, not innocent beauties.
Let me tell you what the richest men in the world are doing with their money right now. Bill Gates, the single largest private farmland owner in the United States, owns 270,000 acres across 18 states, often purchased quietly through the shell companies. At the exact same time, he has poured tens of millions of dollars into Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods, and Memphis Meats. The company is designed to replace the beef that used to be raised on land just like his. And in 2021, in a recorded interview with MIT Technology Review, he said this out loud. loud. All rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef. You can get used to the taste difference. Eventually, that green premium is modest enough that you can sort of change the people or use regulation to totally shift demand. Regulation. Not your choice. And Gates isn't alone. Jeff Bezos has committed $100 million through his Bezos Earth Fund to establish a global network of research centers dedicated to replacing conventional meat with plant-based, fermented, and lab-grown alternatives. Bezos and Gates have also jointly backed Nature's Find, a Chicago company making meatless patties from fungus, and BlackRock and Vanguard, the two largest asset managers on the planet, are the second and third largest shareholders of Beyond Meat and have been increasing their stakes even as the company loses money. So the most powerful men and institutions on the planet are all moving in the same direction, away from real beef, towards something made in a lab. And now here's what's happening on the ground while all that money moves. The US cattle herd has collapsed to its lowest point since 1951. The cost of running a single cattle operation has gone up over $200 per cow in just 5 years. Generational ranching families are being squeezed off their own land. And while that's all happening, inside the food supply itself, things are even darker than most people realize. A farmer in the UK was on camera revealing that processors are injecting potato starch directly into your beef to make it look better, to weigh more, and to sell for more money. And they're not legally required to even tell you. And a vice president at one of the biggest food companies in America was secretly recorded saying this about the meat his own company sells.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
He was fired days later. And even if you're staying healthy and avoiding fast food meat, the steak you order at a fancy restaurant can legally be made with glue. And they don't even have to tell you. There are drugs in your pork that are banned in over 150 countries. The list goes on, and every single one of these things is completely legal in the United States. Is it a coincidence that the people funding the replacement of beef are the same people whose asset management firms profit when real ranching fails? I'll let you decide.
No, the rapture's not in the Bible.
Oh, it's not?
No.
No, I didn't know
No, it's not
that.
in the Bible.
Okay.
A church invented that. No, they said some people may be aware something is happening, other ones won't. But at first when you go, you'll keep your body. But then eventually you will turn into beings of light because you won't need to eat, you won't need anything. But at first it'll just be like something's different, something is not the same, it's better than it was. It may be a gradual thing like that. And some people who are more aware will know something has happened. Other ones may not know anything. But it's all going to be an individual experience, I think.
But those left behind then, will they know we're gone? Will they miss us?
They,
I mean, us, you know, if...
That's what, like they said, you just won't be in their life anymore.
Ah, okay.
But they'll still continue with their negativity.
Okay.
And that's what I asked them. I said, won't they know the difference? And they said, don't you have people in your life now that are dropping out of your life? Yes. And you said, I wonder whatever happened to so-and-so.
Ah.
And I said, yeah, but you could still contact them. And they said, but you won't. It's something like that.
We've been using mostly artificial intelligence to screen billions of molecules in silico. And we're now at the stage where we're in the lab using AI and visualization, machine learning, to tell us whether cells from old humans, 92-year-olds, their skin cells can be reversed back to a 20-year-old. And we know OSK works, the gene therapy works, and we're looking for molecules that do that. And I can say we already have a proof of concept, which is a cocktail of molecules that some of which we published on already a couple of years ago. And those we hope to put into a clinical trial into humans within the next couple of months as part of our X Prize competition.
Do you all remember this? The Miami Mall incident back from New Year's Day 2024, when people at that Bayside Mall in Miami reported an extraterrestrial? Yeah, people at that mall in Miami reported seeing a tall, like 7 foot tall, extraterrestrial in the mall. over 50, yes, 50 squad cars reported to that incident. And we never found out what really happened. There's been some leaked videos online, but nothing confirmed. So I started to think about something. Just recently, a world-renowned psychic from Brazil predicted an alien invasion, an extraterrestrial alien invasion at the World Cup on June 24th in Miami. Yeah, Miami, the same place as that Bayside Mall incident almost 2 years ago. So, is there a possible connection between that Bayside Mall incident, like I said once again, in January of 2024, and the Brazilian psychic's prediction of an extraterrestrial alien invasion at the World Cup in Miami on June 24th? I don't know, it just seems odd to me. Because like I said, that Bayside Mall incident was never explained. We never got a full story of what happened there. And for the psychic to say her vision was of it happening in Miami, could this somehow be connected? I don't know. I guess we have to wait till June 24th to find out. Okay, till next time. Shabadoo Booshkies, Shabadoo.
At last, the CIA has admitted that telekinesis was part of a secret program.
Now press your fingers to your forehead and try to lift the pen.
Watch until the end, because the ending will shock you. But as always, to confuse everyone, they started making up all this stuff about activating the third eye. Let's get straight to the point. We can't keep this a secret anymore, and you need to know this. If you don't subscribe right now, you'll lose me forever. And as always, I really need your like. So, according to experts, the CIA has started releasing materials about integrating telekinesis techniques into secret programs. But what does the third eye have to do with it? Just a way to confuse you? The third eye is activated when receiving information, not for projecting influence onto objects. Telekinesis uses a special technique, creating a double of yourself and transferring control onto an object through visualization. And every person's assembly chakra is unique. It can supposedly be identified using a chakra key. As for the third eye, it's more like a lie detector. You can pick up people's thoughts and the vibrations of events, allowing you to sense whether something will turn out positive or negative. Leave a plus in the comments and I'll send you a full guide on how to work with the third eye. Your teacher, Ernst Vieter.
Einstein was put in by the Rockefellers to get somebody to debunk the ether. You have the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds who own the entire education system throughout the entire world. You know, someone says, I study at a school in this country. It's the same thing that you learn in the other countries. You can see it now today in all the countries where the schooling system is working. During the 1889, there was, I believe it was the Morley experiment, which was debunking the ether. That was the first step. And then secondly, they brought in Einstein, who Einstein was a USPS worker, which is funny. He was a post office worker. And I'm not insulting post office workers, but the fact that this guy became the super genius of all of this and they said all these things and what they do is they put these people in and then these people become very popular. And so he was funded so that he could go against the ether. When you get rid of the ether after the 1920s, you call it now quantum. That's what people know this as. They're like quantum theory and this and blah, blah, blah. But once you remove the ether, you also remove pretty much the spirit aspect of everything. And this is what Steiner talked about, that there's the fifth element, the spirit aspect of everything.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we may be closer than ever to finding it. One of the biggest mysteries out there, especially in our lifetimes, is the mystery of flight MH370, where in 2014, 239 people mysteriously vanished on the Malaysian Airlines flight, and nobody knows what happened to it. Countless theories, documentaries, all kinds of things out there, and no one knows the answer. But now, a tiny sea creature may have just given scientists the biggest clue yet in solving the entire thing. So of course, we found slight bits of debris from the aircraft, but we don't know where it crashed, why it crashed, and what happened. But scientists are now turning to something that nobody expected: barnacles. What And this is why it's so crazy, so stick with me. When barnacles grow, they actually build layers inside of their shells. And those layers each individually actually record the temperature of the ocean around them at the time that they were formed. Meaning every barnacle that is attached to flight debris that's been found from this plane, which has been quite a bit, is actually carrying a hidden record of where that debris traveled from in the Indian Ocean. So scientists are saying they've been analyzing barnacles found from the debris, which has been recovered from various beaches around the Indian Ocean, and by reading temperatures preserved inside the shells, as I say, it allows researchers to actually work backwards through time. And the goal is basically to reconstruct the debris' journey and trace it back to the aircraft's final resting place. Now, researchers are saying this could significantly narrow down the search area and potentially point investigators to where the actual plane is in the Indian Ocean very soon.
A lot of people don't think about this, but dolphins actually have a dark side. In the wild, groups of teenage dolphins will literally get together, form a gang, kill younger dolphins, or even porpoises, just for the hell of it. They don't even eat them afterwards. Groups of male dolphins will get together and gang assault a female dolphin and kidnap her for weeks at a time. It ain't all peaches and cream under the sea, baby. It kind of makes sense though. I mean, when you look at dolphins, they're really intelligent, almost as intelligent as we are. So it makes sense that they at least have some capacity for violence. I mean, not compared to us, we low-key be wilding out with wars and everything else. Now, dolphins generally get all this positive press, but the way he describes it, it definitely don't want to run into a pack of them in the ocean.
Someone sent me this video of Mariah Carey, and it's like, is it Mariah Carey or is it a double? Because she can't do anything. She can't do anything by herself. She can't do anything for herself. I would be so annoyed if I had this many people around me touching me, fixing me, telling me like she's become a zombie. She's become just a doll. She can't actually do anything for herself. This is actually creepy. But then if we see her here, this looks like a different Mariah Carey. So what's going on here? And then on top of that, she's also with Kris Jenner, who I do not trust. And Mariah looks like she's like not really all there. I mean, just listen to her talk.
Thank you, Mariah. Hi, Mariah. Thank you, Mariah. Sign 2 autographs for me, please.
I don't know, you guys. I do feel like those were two different Mariahs. Like this Mariah and the Mariah that was with Kris Jenner. And then the way that she was speaking. It's like every single person in Hollywood is either just really, really, really drugged up all the time, or they're not the same person that they once were and they've been replaced. And then this is why they have a whole freaking team around them, because the team needs to keep the duplicate in line. You know, that's why they handle them and they do everything for them, because apparently they can't do anything for themselves.
Did you know that there are trees on Earth that actually walk from one place to another? These trees are called Socratia exorrhiza. These special types of palm trees walk about 2 to 3 centimeters per day from their original place and about 20 meters per year. These palm trees walk because in the dense forests, they don't get enough sunlight. They are calculated to be around 15 to 20 meters tall and 16 centimeters in diameter. Now, in order to get a sufficient amount of sunlight, their roots grow in the direction of sunlight, and then their old roots lift into the air and then die. Unlike other usual trees, palm trees have their roots mostly outside of the soil. That gives these trees a broom-like shape and structure. Have you ever known about these walking trees?
So I am very confident that the challenging time with gasoline will pass by. Core inflation, which is real underlying inflation, surprised on the downside. It was only 0.2%.
Shit's getting weird. Part infinity.
I just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare.
I literally saw this video like 3 days ago, and I was like, oh, music industry at it again. This is the musician that sings that song, Life Goes On and On and On and On. I'm sure you've heard it, okay? Amongst other songs, but that's like one noticeable one. And then I found out today that he died in a helicopter crash. I'm not saying this is a conspiracy or anything like that. I'm just saying that's where my mind goes. Not everything is a conspiracy, okay? I'm well aware that not everything is a conspiracy. It's just when things happen like this in the way that they happen, sometimes it fuels the conspiratorial mindset, the conspiratorial shenanigans. That's all I'm saying. Because the thing about these industries and stuff, like there's so much money involved that if somebody wanted to do something, they could do it, and you could probably get away with it because nobody would know. It's hard to trace it back, and it sounds so far-fetched. So All I'm saying is I can't prove it, nor can I disprove it. But the timing is definitely weird. I gotta go.
I've been seeing a lot of talk about this whole Oliver Tree situation. I never really sat and listened to his whole album or many of his songs, but it definitely ties into the conspiracy that these celebrities are getting swapped out. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what kind of dots we can connect.
Probably because that little one looks like an entry core paper. The one on the right, that small one, that's probably for a scholarship. Get a close-up of that. What I'd give to get a chance to go up in there. Are you fucking shitting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count 5 different entry points to this alien base. This is the reason why I've stayed in Antarctica so long. Look at this thing. I'm giving an interview about alien bases and one shows up right behind me. This is a daily thing here. This is something that has kept me in Antarctica because I want to know more. And without the proper military support, I can't go deeper into this because this is NATO territory. It's been closed off. But a guy can wonder and a guy can watch from a distance and document. We've got multiple cameras here so that we can try to get this footage and upload this to the internet where everyone can witness this for free. We don't have to hide this anymore. I'm so sick of the government hiding what's really going on here in Antarctica.
So he definitely was active in pursuing information that wasn't readily available. I mean, he put his money where his mouth was and ended up in Antarctica looking for alien UFO bases.
In the song Hurt, Oliver opens the track with some very revealing lines that explains how he became a superstar. In the intro of the song, he sings, "My day will come, I gave too much. I sold my soul, I'm waiting for my pay in full. I only want your dying love, I've seen enough." Openly, Oliver states he sold his soul and is now waiting for his payment in full. He states he only wants your dying love, which basically means he wants fame and admiration. Openly, he is admitting in his first successful song that he made a deal to have the world and to be admired. He knew his success was coming because he gave his soul for it. He states this when he admits that he knows he's given too much. He knows he paid the ultimate price for his fame. In the music video for the song Hurt, we see Oliver mocking the crucifixion of Christ, as there is a scene where he can be seen crucified on a giant scooter. It is not a coincidence that in the same song he is heard talking about selling his soul, he can be seen crucified, clearly mocking Christ.
Oliver Tree Nickel was born on June 29, 1993, in Santa Cruz, California. He began piano lessons at age 3 and was writing his own music as a teenager. He briefly attended San Francisco State University before graduating from the California Institute of the Arts with a degree in music technology. Fusing alternative rock, indie pop, and hip-hop, he launched his career under the moniker Tree, earning early praise from Radiohead frontman Tom York for a viral cover of Karma Police. After signing with Atlantic Records in 2017, he catapulted to global mainstream fame by mastering the art of internet culture, crafting a zany, bowl-cut-wearing persona named Turbo, and securing massive, multi-platinum viral hits with 2021's Life Goes On and 2022's Miss You. In April 2026, he released the album Love You Madly, Hate You Badly, and embarked on a world tour. His tour took him to Sao Paulo, Brazil, before staying in Rio de Janeiro to shoot comedic content, record in the studio, and soak in the local culture alongside social media personalities. Oliver Tree died on June 14, 2026, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, at the age of 32. He was never married and had no children. Oliver was a passenger when his helicopter suffered a mid-air collision with another helicopter, causing the wreckage to plummet into an electric vehicle parking lot and ignite a massive fire. The cause of death was fatal injuries sustained in a helicopter crash. He was one of 6 victims, which also claimed the life of prominent Argentine YouTuber Gaspar Gaspi Prim. Oliver Tree remains an unforgettable visionary of the digital age, a fearless provocateur and brilliant musician who used satire, style, and sound to prove that being completely unusual is the most beautiful thing you can be.
Have you seen this picture? One of the biggest tech founders in the world is sitting with his baby using black and white flashcards. There are no flashy screens, no gadgets or complicated toys. They are just having simple tummy time with black and white flashcards and eye-level interaction. And those cards are actually pretty useful in the early months. Babies can't see colors very clearly yet, so simple black and white patterns are much easier for them.
Proof that Hollywood is evil.
That Led Zeppelin sold their souls to Satan. Come on, guys, you know you did. There's There's no other way to explain your ungodly talents. I just want to say thank you, because while you're in hell, the human race will cherish your heavenly jams till the end of time.
Of course, as we hear so often when celebrities say this type of stuff, we hear everybody laugh and play it off as a big joke. They also found this clip from a Jack Black interview on Jay Leno.
You know, have we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the These two guys get on.
Must just be another giant coincidence that in 2024, Jack Black actually portrayed the devil in a movie titled Dear Santa, as you see behind me. Everything we're finding out about the entertainment industry, all this stuff really makes you think. Comment below with your thoughts. Am I on to something, or am I really tripping this time? Wake up.
Things are known to reduce the size of the hippocampus and calcify the pineal gland, dumbing you down, reducing your IQ, reducing your drive, motivation, inspiration, basically making you an easy slave.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for always stopping by, watching, and learning with me. If you haven't already, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe if you are not already part of the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next ones. And if you're ready for another rabbit hole, you should see it right here somewhere. And before I forget, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.